Hey, Boske.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good ride.
Yeah, it was a tiring ride for me.
How many kilometers did we do? What do you mean it was a tiring ride for you?
Yes, I've been trying to catch up with you all through the ride. You've been like literally flying with this muddy hug.
366 kilometers. You were on that. I was on this most of the time.
Yes.
Then we swapped.
Yeah, we swapped as well.
So this is part 2 of the Muddy Hog modification video, where we will share how much it cost, how good it is, and was it all worth it. You've ridden both.
Yes.
I have ridden both.
Yes.
This trip you rode, mainly I wanted you to get a assessment. I had an idea simply because I had access to how it was before and how it is now. So you are riding this for the first time. What is your assessment?
A simpler word, it flies. Be it the handling of the motorcycle, the suspension of it, I think it's completely out of the world when you compare it with a stock. If we call in Atarama says it was the slowest weekend he's ever had ever since he bought the ADV.
Yeah, he's been complaining about how
both being
slow we were riding.
Yes.
So just because he's on the 390 adventure, his tongue started to get a bit loose. He forgot that he had a Himalayan a few months back. We'll get you, Otto, we'll get you one day. Just you wait.
As I said, Boske, the suspension, the grunt it has. Now, I didn't try out any top end on the motorcycle.
Neither did I. That was not relevant.
For me, it was more like how quickly am I going to get back to my cruising speed?
110, 100 to 110.
Yes, 100, 110 is where I'm more comfortable on the Himalayan. Comparing it with the stock, it's like cheese and chuck. Yeah, they look similar, but that's the end of the story. I think each and every thought that you have put in to making the motorcycle faster,
It's giving some reward.
is definitely, I think rather than faster, I can say making the motorcycle more responsive.
What are the main things you noticed?
The first major thing that I noticed was the combustion clatter.
Yeah, I noticed that too when I got onto that motorcycle. 150 kilometers I rode on this. Then we swapped at Nanjangud. The first thing that hit me when I started riding this was that clack, 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 clack. Is something wrong?
and I have this habit of keeping my visor open, let the fresh air in.
Okay, you
Right?
keep it.
Yeah,
I shut it.
I keep it open, and with this clatter, wow, it got to my ears. As I said earlier, it's been a tiring weekend catching up with you.
So that is clattering. This is not clattering. There is no clatter in this.
It sounded more Japanese.
I could hear the exhaust beautifully on this motorcycle. I could just go, you could hear that. In this it was going.
I never heard the exhaust in this.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot of combustion clatter. See, that's what the Powertronics and the Fuel X has done. A combination of the two. Powertronics controls some of the fuel also, and ignition timing also. So it keeps that at the most optimum level.
Okay.
Fuel X, basically it conveys a lesser temperature than what the engine actually is running at.
Basically, it tricks the ECU
It tricks
to run
the ECU
cooler.
to run a little bit richer. I mean, that's the rough thing. I don't want to get into technicalities. This seems to have become more efficient. Now, whether this motorcycle will meet the emission as a BS4, we will find out. We will find out. I think it will, because there is one point which we were validated when we filled up gas.
Yeah.
That's a validation that the combustion is clean. What was the
I was
mileage?
pleasantly surprised.
I was too.
There's a difference of half a kilometer between the two motorcycles.
That's all.
And that's it.
0.5.
Yes.
36.5 and 37.
Yes. This runs on an entirely different level altogether. I don't think you can compare it. It's cheese and chuck.
If it can give so much of mileage, fuel isn't being wasted. When I say fuel is not being wasted, there is not much unburnt fuel coming out. So if they both these motorcycles give the same amount of mileage, I can assume this will pass emission also.
So now getting back to that list that you mentioned, the combustion clatter was the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing that I noticed was the suspension. It is much more firmer. It doesn't sag on its own weight like what the stock one does.
This kind of squats.
Yes, yes,
Over, too much of sag.
And the thing is, it has so much of play. For example, and if it sags, you're left with
Sag is supposed to be about 25 to 30% of the
total travel.
But this seems to sag, even a new vehicle seems to sag 40% or 50%. Older it gets, this is 50%.
You take it off the main stand and pluck.
Yeah, it just squats there.
And I didn't get that over there. And while going over bumps or stuff like that, I never had any issues with that bus key. So, amazingly good job done on the suspension by you.
Yeah, the YSS is firmer. So on light ripple roads, you can feel that thing. Once the speed builds up, start to hit some worse potholes, that's when this starts to show the advantages.
There is one thing that you have done which even I had not even thought of. Come on, these mods people generally do think.
Yeah.
But there is one thing that you've done with your kickstand.
Aha, okay.
See?
This is something I saw, it is not my idea. I noticed it in one video in one of the millions of YouTube videos that I'm watching. The side stand on the Himalayan is not very great. It feels a bit unwieldy.
I agree.
And when stopping on a slight down slope, there's a massive danger of the motorcycle hopping off the stand. And we put it in gear and we do all kinds of things. And in gear, we pull the clutch in and the bike starts to roll. We want to leave it in a stable way and go somewhere for a tea, a coffee, or overnight. We can park it on a down slope safely. Let me show you. Simple. All it needs is a strap.
Oh, you're using the luggage strap.
Yeah, it's a simple strap. We can use a belt or anything. So, let me show you. So I got it hooked here. There is no way this motorcycle is coming off stand.
Wow, it's a simple one.
So you have to adjust the length. You can adjust the length of this accordingly, however you want. So it's an adjustable strap or any belt. We get belts with that clip, infinite adjustment clip. Put it down, hook it to this. This motorcycle is going nowhere. So keep this, especially when you're riding in the hills and mountains, park it safely.
Suspension. Next, what I would want to call out is the ergonomics on this motorcycle. The handlebar. I'm going to flick it from you one of these days. Mind it.
CK, the thief.
I mean, like, it gives you such a relaxing, open-chested posture. Your arms are slightly more well spread than the stock one. For me, it's like, you sit on a hippopotamus and then you catch it by its ears.
Hippo by the ears.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Slightly wider and less sweep back. It changes the way how we sit. It's more open-chested.
Yes.
With this elbows come out naturally.
And it's very relaxing, right? It's very relaxing. You can throw the bike around, you can literally throw your handles this way or the other way.
More leverage, it's wider.
Yeah, exactly. And you're doing it with minimal effort compared to this. Yeah, you still need some effort, but compared to this,
is less.
Yeah. In this, you bloody need to shake your body, move your butt, and then you pull the handle.
There is a reason, there's another reason for that, why it feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
We'll come to, that's another reason why the handle feels heavy.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk of that.
Yeah, we'll talk of that.
That
handlebar, yeah.
Your seat, the touring
seat.
Honestly put, I always felt it was more of a marketing gyan, but then when you sit back to back, you realize the premium that you're going to pay for the touring seats is worth it.
This seat is totally worth. In the Interceptor video, in the earlier videos, I mentioned that there were a few comments from the viewers because they had put some foam and turned it into a living room sofa. It's a quest to find comfort for the bottom. The first thing anybody should try is just get the touring seat.
Yeah.
This did not get down to the seat plate. That goes to the seat plate. After 30-40 minutes, it's down to the seat plate, it compresses.
And if the road is hard, You had it,
Had it.
Yeah.
This does not compress. I can still feel that last bit of that special material they have put in the
Touring seat?
Yeah, it's not foam. The entire thing is not foam. There is a layer of one 3D mesh. Yeah, 3D mesh. That's what they call it.
They call it 3D mesh.
So yeah, touring seat is handlebar. The touring seat
Yeah.
takes care of the nice top end.
Nice top. And then the foot pegs.
Foot pegs. Yeah, these non-skid.
Yeah, I found them good. It's a bit wider to my liking. I always prefer a bit.
Rocking your feet is a little bit not as easy.
When I stand, it made a difference. And I think, yes, if given an opportunity, I might customize it a little bit to make it a little bit more narrower. But then that's a good investment that you've done.
Yeah. So yeah, ergonomics also reduces the fatigue. This was easier to ride than that motorcycle.
Yeah. So Bosky, I think I've covered everything that I felt in that ride, whatever I had. But I've left out one key topic. It handles like a charm.
Multiple reasons. First biggest reason is the aluminium axle rim. The front wheel assembly is 2.5 kgs lighter than stock.
Okay.
2.5 kgs of unsprung weight, rotating mass. So this has got a massive gyroscopic effect, so it doesn't want to turn. The faster this motorcycle goes, the straighter it wants to keep going, so the force required on a bar is much more greater to make it move. This 2.5 kilos is no small thing to lose only on unsprung mass in the front.
Yes.
So that has changed the way they're handling. And with this handlebar, that's how the handling has become so light. And the rear also is aluminium. Rear is 1 kg lighter. That's also unsprung weight. And it is tubeless, so it doesn't have the weight of the tube. It's got that outex. Outex doesn't weigh as much as the entire inner tube. So this has helped in the massively handling. And the weight loss program.
Yeah. You've been on a weight loss program. You're ensuring all the motorcycles by you are put a weight loss program.
I think we are all like that, right? What we do in our lives outside of motorcycling is what we implement on the motorcycle also.
It's an extension of your character.
Yeah.
Extension of your persona. Simple.
11 kilos lighter, the motorcycle.
Wow.
Motorcycle is 11 kilos lighter. Had it weighed from the stock to this condition, it is 11 kilos lighter. And it has lost some of the weight from the top. So that slight top heaviness also is gone.
Lost.
This has got a slight top heaviness due to these railings on the side, top railings. They are of use for some purpose. You know, some people put that cans there, some luggage and things like that. That's okay. It's a personal, it's a choice. They're okay to do.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's lost the top heaviness and nimble, very flickable. So 11 kilos, 3.5 kilos of rotating mass and 3.5 kilos of unsprung weight gone. All this put together has made it what it is.
A couple of times I was trying to, overtake, and the first time I just flipped. I was like, from this end I was almost near the road divider. I overdid that. And that is when I realized, it is not the stock hippo that I'm riding, but a gazelle.
The hippo and the gazelle.
Yes. When we presented, or when you presented the Muddy Hog in the first video, quite a lot of questions were posed. I think if you basically think through the questions and compress it, it's all about one, is it faster? Second one, how much lighter did it get? Third, the costing to it.
So one thing is established, it is faster. Let's say it is quicker.
Yeah,
it's quicker. Not faster has got a lot of different meanings like we said earlier. So it is quicker, most certainly quicker. So that answers the first question.
Yes.
The second one was, is it lighter? Most definitely it is 11 kilos lighter. The third one, how much did it cost? What I have done on this costed a total of 1,73,600 rupees.
Wow.
That is the cost of each item I have put on this motorcycle as new.
Yes.
Some of this is not new. It was on my other Himalayan. If it is brand new, what I have done, 173,600. There was another question asked. Why didn't I take up the scram to do this?
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Even I felt
Several people asked.
Yes.
Very logical and valid question. I had a couple of things with the scram. One, I didn't have access to a scram. I couldn't get a scram. I didn't have a scram. Early scram that is available is a BS6 scram, that is new, and I did not want a BS6. I did not want a BS6. BS6 comes with a Continental FI system. Continental, it's a Bangalore company, I believe, German company, the Indian operations.
Okay.
It is made in India.
Yes.
Continental FI. BS4s come with the Japanese Keihin system.
I know you're a big fan of reliability.
So this has got the Keihin. Second, there is a bracket here which
Yes.
holds up this entire console on the Himalayan.
Yes.
Now, if you notice, this is not mounted on the handle, on the
handlebar,
fork.
yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to keep the handlebar, continue to keep it light,
Got it.
the weight on the handlebar. So Scram doesn't have the proper bracket here.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
So all I did was remove this and retain and did a little bit of modification. So that's the reason why we didn't take the Scram. Those are all combination of reasons. The biggest reason is I didn't have access to a Scram, and second, it's got the Continental FI system. I was looking for a BS4 ABS, fortunate enough to get this, and it's about the same cost as a modification. So whatever I bought it for, I added another top up on that, and ended up with around a 3.4 lakh motorcycle.
3.4 lakh.
And that's okay. It's a mission, a goal which I wanted to achieve, and from the outcome, to me, I am satisfied. I am happy that every mod has given returns, and I'm actually starting to enjoy the Himalayan again.
Much more.
Yes,
You're gonna ditch your X-Pulse.
I might. Project completed, project successful, mission accomplished. Would you say so?
I fully agree. It's a completely different beast to ride now. And if it's made you think to sell your X-Pulse, I'm sure it's right up there. This is a motorcycle that's been tastefully modified.
Thank you.
It's a fantastic job, Bosky.
Thank you. So let us know what you think about this motorcycle. I'd love to hear from you, and we will respond to each and every comment. Till next time, thanks. Where are you?
Allah nodi ava.
Where are you going? No, no, no.
No, this is not about ADV 390, boss. Please come here.
No, no, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that.
Please. Yes. We are there to shoot the Muddy Hog.